Welcome finally to the Vanora ENGADINWIND by Dakine. We are back. We do still have a few technical issues. You probably already know that by now. I'm joined once again by Antonio Costalino. He's not Italian. Well, he kind of is. He's half Italian, half French, half Dutch, half New Zealand. We don't know where he's from, but he's here and he's got the knowledge that I have not got. To give you a bit of an update, we've had some wind, we've had some races. And it's been pretty interesting. The women, if you've been following any of the iQFOiL stuff, you will probably know who's maybe leading. Helena Neusman, absolutely smashing it out the park. Although they did do one slalom race today, and she wasn't at the front of the fleet. She was actually pretty deep. So it's pretty interesting that we're going to go through results in a minute. At the moment on the water, to give you an idea, we've got the silver fleet. So if you are new to iQFOiL or Olympic racing, basically after 3 days of qualifying, they split the fleet in half. The top half and the bottom half. This is the bottom half. So the top seed in this race is basically 78th or something overall.
77.
Or 77.
That was good.
Somewhere around there.
Oh, no, you're right, 79.
79. 79. But for any Brits out there, Guy Cribb is leading the race.
Yes,
he was
is.
leading at the top mark, he was leading at the bottom mark, he was leading at the top mark, and they're just coming into the finish. And you're probably wondering why you're not seeing any visuals at the moment. Well, due to all these problems with the internet, they're having to reconfigure all the servers, but we thought we'd come live anyway and give you... Oh no, he's not going to win. Cribb, where's he gone?
He must have gone
They're crossing
down.
the line now. Michael Polak from Poland is going to cross in first place, so he wins the first Silver Fleet race. He'll be disappointed to be in the Silver Fleet. I know he had a problem with his foil yesterday, and then he couldn't get back on for the last race, so he had 2 DNFs or something. Cribby's just finishing now in about 5th or 6th. Well, there we go. So, like I said, I can only apologise, but it is out of our hands. We can't really do any more than we do. We lost the internet this morning and they have been fighting for hours to get it back on. It only came back on about 10 minutes before 3, so they're having to reconfigure everything. But hopefully we should have some proper visuals soon. Gold Fleet, number 3, Gold Fleet race 3 will be up next. I did see Andy Brown from Scotland, Lockinch, won the first Gold Fleet race. Yeah. So he is on fire. The Brits were up there again. The second, who else was up there? Nicholas Goya.
Baden was up there in the second race.
Hugh Van Tack won the last one actually.
And Nico Goya was second.
Nico Goya. Yeah. So, you know, those names we're looking, I reckon we need to put some faces to those names, because there'll be a new names for a lot of you guys, especially the ones that follow the PWA and have not followed RSX and the early sort of iQFOiL stuff. In the women news from the slalom, Sarah Kita was leading the slalom race and went the wrong way. Yes, that was not good news for her. And in the other races...
Well, you didn't say who won the women's slalom race.
That is a good point.
Yeah, Saskia Sills.
Saskia Sills won one of her slalom races.
That's right.
Because it's down to different heats. There was 4 different winners. In the course racing, like I said, Helena Neusman, but Saskia Sills and Isla Watson from Scotland again. Scotland are killing it. We're right up there in all of them. I've seen Donowska from Poland was up there. La Madrid, I think, from Spain was up there in a few as well. We don't have updated results, but what we can do is go through the results after the first day of action, which was after yesterday's racing. So, Helena Neusman, first, second, and then a 40th, so I'm not sure what happened then, and then a first. She is sitting in first place overall, but then we've obviously had a fair few races today, but she is definitely sitting on the top. Saskia Sills, there we are, we've just got an update of one more race after yesterday.
Slalom. That's the slalom from this morning.
Oh, it says there she finished second.
Yeah.
That's not deep. We got told she was deep. Second doesn't look deep to me. Anyway, update from the second and third. Saskia Sills, she won her slalom heat yesterday. 8th, 3rd, 5th, 3rd, 5th, 4th, all the way in top 5s, looking really good. Isla Watson, also really consistent yesterday, 7, 8, 16, and then she sort of pulled it together. 1st, 6th, 3rd, 5th, and I think she's done well today, so she'll be moving up there. Sorin,
yeah.
Sorin,
yeah, very
from
good.
France. She's been doing really good actually. 4th, 6th, 6th, 13th, 1st, 10th, 1st. So we're seeing some names being up there. Rashif from Israel.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Also looking good. She's got stronger during the event. Last couple of races, 4, second, 3rd. La Madrid from Spain, like I said, she's been getting strong. Hella Oppendal from Norway, also up there. And then just to point out a few PWA riders, just to guys who maybe don't follow the Olympic stuff. Delphine Cousin-Castel sitting in 9th place. We've got, just like I say, Lena Erdl, 16th place. This was after yesterday and one race in the slalom this morning. Marion Mortefon, 25th place. Just to give you an idea of where those girls are sitting, so you can kind of judge the level from what you see on the PWA course and now what you're seeing in, up-down racing, basically. Interesting to see actually how the PWA girls got on in the slalom. Just as a bit of context, Marion Mortefon over the line early. Probably got a bit excited. Sarah Winnekes.
What was unexpected yesterday is Lucy Belbioc had quite a big crash, port starboard off the start in race 5, and so was unable to complete the rest of the day. So she's been hobbling around today. I think she's out there racing.
That makes a lot of sense, because Lucy Belbioc, just to give you a bit of an idea, 2nd, 5th, 3rd, 5th, looking one of like the hot contenders to be in that top 2, well, second basically behind Neusman. And I wonder what happened there. 3 races, so she's not going to carry on.
Well, I haven't seen the results for today.
That first slalom she didn't do it, so
she's been struggling.
That's a real shame, actually. It's a real shame for Belbioc. She was looking good, really good. There you go. That was the women. I really hope we're going to get some visuals for this Gold Fleet. Gold Fleet, after day 1, Luke van Op Zeeland was leading the way. He loves it here in Lake Silverplana. He really does. He's won the Formula Foil World Championship, a couple of years ago. And so far at this event, after the first day, 1st, 2nd, 4th, 2nd, 1st, in a very, very competitive fleet. The guy's got speed. He got his tactics sorted. He was pretty much going near the starboard end of the line, banging the right-hand side, one of the quickest into that corner, and was kind of coming out really good every time. And we've seen him doing it today as well. So he's sticking with his tactic, just waiting for a few updates on the results. And then maybe a surprise to some guys who don't follow this sort of stuff, Andy Brown, Matthew Barton, 2nd and 3rd after the first day. Really consistent racing, both banging in first places, top 3s pretty much all the way through the regatta. Nicholas Goya, as we know how strong he is on the PWA, obviously a foil world champion. He's probably going to ring the PWA event, well, the whole championship this year, world champion. Sitting in the 4th place, Pignoret from France. We got, who else we got in there? Oh, it sounds like we're going to go to the start. We have got visuals. Hurrah! And I'll be going to some comments as well, so let's get busy. Looks like it's night time down there. We hopefully should get a bit more. I'm not sure what cameras, but I tell you what you're going to find out is a lot of the guys starting on port tack. You're going to see it's very port tack biased, but just keep your eye on the left of the screen. It's going to be very dangerous, because we're going to have a lot of guys coming in on starboard tack who have right of way. Oh, this is going to be, I don't know what. I don't think I can watch. How could you slow down?
Oh, you can't.
Oh my God. Okay, it's just carnage. That is just one of the scariest things. We've seen some of the tried and tested guys out there. We've got Nicholas Goya there, 4.65 from France. France 10 in the mix. We got Israeli 60. We got Amada Vrieswijk, Ned 2020. Nico Preen, Germany 7. All in the mix. They're banging that right-hand corner first. Like I said, it's been working really well for Luke van Op Zeeland. Is that Matthew Barton?
Yeah, that is Matty Barton.
Yeah, Matty Barton, fair from GB. The GB boys have got some terrible sale numbers. So hard to remember. I mean, we're going to have to figure out a way. As you know, if you were watching yesterday, you'll know we lost a drone. I say we, the Icarus crew that are covering this event lost a drone in the trees. GBR 360, that's Andy Brown from Scotland, looking good. All away from Lockinch. I heard an interesting fact actually from the British coach earlier that Aviemore up in Scotland has got the most percentage of medalists in the whole of the UK. So I'm guessing they're pretty athletic up there.
Summer and Winter Olympics, that's right.
Yeah.
Something special in the water, maybe.
Impressive. So we have got, we should have a drone up in the air, but obviously we've got one. Yesterday we had two, so there will be one covering one part of the course. It can't cover all the course. Obviously we'd have no battery to do that. So the drone, I guess, will be covering the top end of the course as we see. But some great winds we're having here in Silvaplana, probably 15 to 20 knots.
That's right, yeah.
It's a little bit lighter than that, you know, 20 knots in a colder place or a place at lower altitude would probably feel stronger, but still great foiling racing. So that is the shot we've got. We are going to be obviously bringing you the numbers and the riders when they go around that windward mark, but we are split into Goldfleet, and if you didn't join us yesterday and you didn't hear the explanation for how the finals will work, these guys are fighting it out to be inside the top 12, but there is a bonus if you're in the top 2, or basically the top 4. The top 2 riders will go straight to a final, 3rd and 4th will go to the semi-final, the rest will fight it out to get to those semi-finals, and then 2 riders will move in from the semi-finals to the final, making a 4-man final. So the top 2 after the end of the week will guarantee themselves inside the top 4. But obviously, if you counted correctly, there's 4 places and only 3 medals, and they've done that on purpose because they know someone will miss out, and that's why it will be exciting at the end of the week. Okay, whoa, some close crosses there. We're getting sandwiched in between. That was actually Luke Van Op Zeeland, Ned 55 there, going out of the middle. We've got a Brit up there as well, probably Matty Barton or Andy Brown, although we have seen Finn Hawkins been racing really well all week, one of the young up-and-coming Brits. I can tell you that the Brits have been working hard all winter over in Lanzarote. And there we go, we're cutting close into that windward mark. You can see the Union Jacks flying. Going to be right up there as we get in towards this windward mark. Hopefully we can keep this drone out of trouble.
So we've been seeing a bit of a theme, haven't we, Ben, with the flags here? British, French and Dutch is mostly what we've been seeing, isn't it?
Those are the guys who've been putting the work in. That's what they've took it. They are really pushing out hard. Obviously very strong, represented in the Olympics. You can see that's the windward mark there. Now we've told the guys to position the boat down this side today because I think it's going to be our best shot for seeing the guys come round. You see there, France 16 just tacking onto that port tack ley line. He's going to be coming in at a dangerous spot, and there we go. That's our first man round. Want to make any predictions as he gets a bit closer? Okay, there we go, all goes round. We'll go back to that camera in a sec and we'll be able, it looks like maybe Luke Van Op Zeeland. Yes. It is, isn't it? Yep, from the Netherlands. So Luke round in first, then we got a couple of Union Jacks in there, I would guess. Matty Barton, Andy Brown second,
Howie from the Netherlands.
Oh, third. The big crash there. I think that was Andy Brown going down. That rhymes. James Brown, get down. Wash. Is that Finn Hawkins in the mix?
We also had Sam Sills in 4th place at the top mark.
Oh, it was Sam Seals on the other
followed
Union
by
Jack.
Nico. Nico was 5th.
Okay, so Nico Goya, look at that, just look at that view. It's absolutely amazing to see the amount. It was Andy Brown that went down. Oh, that was a big mistake from Andy. He's going to be gutted with that. He was right up in the mix and now he's right in the pack. Oh, and it's so close and he's been taken out again. Oh, this race is not going well for Andy Brown. This is just such a good position to see that action from. This just goes to show how many people, this is the Gold Fleet, this is half the fleet. One mistake, as you can see. The top half of the fleet. The top half of the fleet. I mean, this is some hectic stuff right now. Oh, Andy Brown, you've got a feel from him, got back on the board, tried to squeeze in the mark, someone went inside him, oh, and took him down again. Oh, but out in front, Luke Van Op Zeeland from the Netherlands, absolutely killing it. So Sam Seals seems like he's getting his act together. He's going to have to go some.
It's taken a few days, isn't it? But it's good to see him up there. And Hurian Tuck still up there, so that's really good too.
And he won the last one.
Yeah.
What's his nickname? What you call
him?
Howie.
We call him Howie. It's easier to say than Hurian.
Hurian Tuck. Yeah. But Howie is actually getting it together. He's looked really good actually in these early races as we're coming all the way down to this bottom mark. Oh man, how hectic was that first round?
Insane.
If you have never seen close up iQFOiL racing, that was just, that was just it at its best. Absolutely crazy. The top 75 guys in the world right now fighting it out at the first ever iQFOiL World Championships, and they're going around the gate at the bottom. Looks like maybe Sam Sills has gone the opposite way round. We need to boost up the ISO on that thing.
That's Tom Roivny, the Israeli sailor who's just gone around the mark.
It's so close, isn't it, at the bottom?
And then there's
got Maciej Rakowski going round there.
Matt
Barton in the pack.
Adrien Mestre, France 7.
Yeah, Mestre. We got Colombo from Switzerland. Amado Roostveit going round. I think that's Finn Hawkins going round now. Matthias Isaac, Spain 4 in the mix. It's so hectic. There we go. Matteo Iachino, just to give you an idea of the level these guys are on right now. Obviously, he's not been focusing on upwind, downwind racing, but just goes to show. Oh, mate, hectic stuff. Hectic stuff. Who said up, downwind racing was not interesting? I definitely didn't say that. I can have a rest now on the upwind. What do you think of the racing? Was it a good idea to change from the RSX? I'll let you put it in the comments.
Oh, you want me to answer that? No,
you can definitely
I would say absolutely. It was 100% time to change. You know, it served a good purpose, but it's done its time. So we thank it and we bid it goodbye. Yeah, we kick it into the distance. Yeah. The new era is here. Olympic windsurfing, iQFOiL. Going to be very interesting where this goes. We're still early days. Like I say, this is the first ever iQFOiL World Championships. Had the Europeans last year, no World Championships. We've got the Europeans coming up this year over in Marseille, which is the Olympic venue for 2024.
Oh, okay, so that's going to be a very interesting a venue. I like it. I like the way you've done that, boys.
Well, it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, it's definitely not a coincidence. I can imagine. I can definitely imagine. So there we go. A couple of close-ups of the drone near the top end of that course. She's down that bottom end on that early ley line. We got Ivan Windsurfing say changing from the RSX was the best idea the Olympic Committee has ever had. 100% it was time. Well done, GB. So much fun to watch compared to RSX, says Mikkel. Of course, yes, loyal to the foil, says Maxime. Yeah, I think it's big consensus. Matthias, yes, RSX is dead. Well, that's just how it goes.
It is literally dead, so yes, that's correct.
No recreational sailor wanted to sail the RSX. The foil board looks exciting. I've got a few friends who have bought this and they're not going to race Olympics. They just bought it because they said, well, it's never going to go out of date. I thought that's not a bad idea. There we go. This is the drone. Let's hope we can stay away from the trees today, boys. Come on. What kind of tacking angles are these guys achieving upwind, Antonio?
So I'd say they're tacking through 90 degrees, so doing 45 degrees to the wind.
Okay.
More or less like a laser, so that's really, really good angles, especially compared to the RSX where we were doing 120 degrees through the wind, which is almost reaching, you know?
Yeah.
So this is really, really, really good angles.
Well, look how fast they are travelling a massive distance here. Obviously I kind of like the lake racing. Everyone's, got their own opinions on this, but I kind of like it because it's a fixed course. You can't do just one big bang out to the corner. You have to play the wind bends, the wind shifts. There's definitely more tactics and a little bit of luck. I love a little bit of luck. That's what definitely adds to it. So the guys are coming up to that windward mark now. You can see, is it going to be Luc van op Zeeland who is in the lead still? It does look like it might be the Dutchman, but it's pretty
someone
close.
Goes down.
Someone has gone down on the tack. We're not used to seeing that. Is it Hugh Van Tack? No, he's got tack in his name. Surely he could crash. We still got a Brit up there. I think that's Sam Seals in the mix. That is definitely Luc van op Zeeland with that real obvious stance of his who's going to go around in first place, but I think it's Nico Goya in second place. Just can't quite get the angle on that, but it does look like it, doesn't it?
So I've got updates from the top mark. First we had Luc van op Zeeland. Second we had Nico Goya. Third we had Howie. Fourth we had Sam Sills, followed by Louis Giard and then Tom Roivny. So there was a big gain from the left-hand side group we're hearing from the top mark.
Okay, so like you say, there's some big lifts coming out that left-hand side, but it's not always there. If it's there, you gain. If it's not, you're going to lose quite a lot of places. Look at the speed as they bear off around this mark. It is carnage. And look at the difference between the riders going round now and 10 metres back. One mistake, you are losing a serious amount of places. One mistake with the speed these guys are travelling at, it is absolutely crazy.
Have you managed to spot Andy Brown since the
I was
crash?
thinking the same thing. Where's Andy Brown?
Where
It's
is
like,
Andy Brown?
He's got my attention
Someone's
now.
going to need to buy that guy an apple pie after this. He's going to deserve it after the hard work.
Man, he'd be gutted, that's for sure. But Luke van Op Zeeland's getting it together. He loves Lake Silver Planner.
Yeah, he does.
It wouldn't surprise me if he had a t-shirt with I Love Silver Planner on. I've seen that in the local shop. He should get one.
His style certainly seems to suit the lake. You know, starting on port at the boat end, going right, hooking into that lift, and then lifting out of it. So
and he's done the same thing every time. Well, I've never seen him do anything else. And why would you do anything else? He's absolutely killing it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he sails low and very, very fast. So that's very suited to this venue, you know, just getting to the corner.
He needs to just get out. He needs no one in his way, which is what he's doing. You know, it wouldn't look like it's a good tactic, but because he's got the speed and because he maybe doesn't point as high as some of the guys, it is definitely working for Luke van Op Zeeland. But can he pull it off? I think, who was in second? Nico.
That's right, yeah.
It looked like Nico, yeah. So it looks like Nicolas Goya, though, might be going around the bottom mark in first place. The Frenchman has turned on the speed on the last downwind, and he is going to be leading into this last reach. But Luke van Op Zeeland was giving it everything, but is he going to pass Nicolas Goya now? It doesn't look like it. This is the reach to the finish. The Frenchman is holding off the big Dutchman. It's getting close though. Van Op Zeeland is holding. No, he's not going to do it. It is going to be Nicolas Goya. What a race from the Frenchman. He crosses the line in first place. Luke van Op Zeeland slips to second, but another great result for the big Dutchman. He looks a bit upset with that, doesn't he?
He does.
He knows he's sort of.
He does.
let
Maybe
a
he
place
deserves
go.
an apple pie, being Dutch and everything.
Definitely. We've got a Frenchie in third place. Who's that?
96? Not sure.
Tell you what.
56, Louis Giard.
Ligiard. Okay, he's got no name on his sail, but Sam Seals in fourth place. Good race from him. Very close with those two boys. Then we've got Israel 60.
Yeah, Tom Rovney.
We got Hugh Van Tack.
Yeah. And then we've got Clément Bourgeois also doing very
Bourgeois
well.
as well. Bourgeois, I've been hearing his name a lot.
Yeah, and Pierre Lecoq and Matty
Matty
Barton
Barton just coming through.
And
France
then-
77. Sebastian Colonel from Germany crossing the line.
And Maciek Rakowski.
France 9, Maciek Rakowski. We've got Alexander Kuzan coming through. Italy 150. We've got Finn Hawkins, the young Englishman, going over. Colombo from Switzerland. Marta Vrieswijk in there. And they're going to come thick and fast now. But really good, really close racing. Really, really good to
Well, I
see.
think it's the most exciting one we've seen, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think we had more information.
Yeah.
That definitely helps. More information. We got a really good angle at that top mark. I mean, that's the shot you want to see. It's just so, it just looks hectic,
Yeah,
like how it
absolutely.
is. And you can imagine if it looks like that on video, in real life, with the guys on the boards, it's scary. Absolute scary. So there we go. We have had an update on the GPS tracking. So a few people asking about that yesterday, just to fill you in what happened. GPS tracking was all organised for this competition, like last year. Tac, or whatever they're called.
Track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tac.
It's okay.
They're called track. But then there was a problem at the Olympics, and track basically had to send everything over to the Olympics to take over from someone else, and they couldn't get everything back in time for this event. So that was, it was just unfortunate, really. But we do have some good news. We will be having GPS tracking for the finals. So that top 12, it's a knockout style finals on the last day, will have GPS tracking. I know there's only 12 riders, but it will make a difference, I think, because it will still be exciting racing. You'll want to know exactly where everyone is. So I'm looking forward to that. Next up, we're going to have the women. Yeah, we are going to have the women.
We are.
Yeah. Just finishing off the Gold Fleet, obviously all the riders going through.
So, what's your favourite moment of that race, Ben?
Well, I don't know if it's my favourite moment.
Most exciting.
The exciting moment was definitely Andy Brown.
Is he going to be happy about that?
He's going to be absolutely gutted. Like that for him, how he's been racing was a guaranteed top 5, let's say. Top 5 guaranteed, maybe a win. Who knows? He's been going so well. But where did he end up? Deep.
Well, we haven't seen him.
We got to be deep, hasn't it? I didn't see him over the line. He definitely wasn't in the top 10. I'm pretty sure he wasn't in the top 20. And you saw the worst moment for me was when he got back up, dusted himself off, and then someone tried to go inside him, and then he went in again. At that point, you'd just be thinking, this is not my race. How many discards do we get?
As far as I know, if we do a full suite of races, we get 4 discards. So 2 in qualifying, 2 in finals.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So how many do you need before you get 2? Well, they're going to do. I mean, we're
11.
racing
I think
so
we
many
get to 11,
races.
I think, is the second one comes in.
So 2 discards. That doesn't sound too bad for the Scottish rider.
Yeah. So he was otherwise discarding a 4th, so he'll be carrying that now. So we actually won't go down too much in the overall standings after that race.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to Andy Brown. We don't want to see that happen, but there's something happened. I think he just got lifted up. Foil came out and just went down. He's obviously pushing. You've got to push. If you want to be top of that fleet, you have to be pushing the limits. And for anyone who doesn't foil, the higher up on your foil you go, the faster you go because there's less drag. The problem is, as soon as that foil leaves the water, you lose all lift instantly. And I mean instantly, and you go down really fast.
Yeah, that's what we call breaching.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do not want to breach that foil.
Not a good thing.
So that is how it's looking. A few people asking how much is the setup for an iQFOiL?
Roughly 8,000 euros.
€8,000, which gets you the full set, and you can go racing. Now, a few of you will go, what? €8,000? You've got to compare that to other Olympic sailing classes. We're the cheapest.
Absolutely.
Windsurfing is the cheapest, and we have had sailors moving over to the iQFOiL, and within a year being pretty competitive, I'm hearing. I don't know them personally, but that is the rumours I'm hearing, which is exciting. When you've got sailors moving over from boats to this, which I thought was just the extreme of the extreme,
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. That is so cool, and really good definitely for the future. I mean, just look at the numbers on the racecourse right now. It would be great if we could get a countdown of the start. Maybe we can.
We can. That buzzer was probably 2 minutes.
Okay, so we could just set our watches,
We
old
could.
school style.
Yeah, we could.
I don't have one.
I've got one.
But okay, so just looking at this start line on your screens now, you can see a massive bunch up at the port end. Now, in most venues around the world, this wouldn't be happening on a regular basis. But here in Silver Plana, with the lake being so short, especially where the start line is, you can't just head off on starboard and go into the distance. You have to tack pretty quick. And the way they set the course up here is very port tack bias. The only problem is if you're on port tack, which means left hand at the front, you have no right of way. The guys with their right hand at the front, the guys coming from this side of your course, have all the rights of way. The problem is most of the good guys are on port, and this just spells disaster, really. And this is apparently one of the most scariest things. This is the girls' race. Here we go. There will be a crossover moment. Can you see? They're so quick to accelerate on the foil, but it looks like the starboard tack girls actually got a really good lift off this start. I'm just having a look.
Yeah, we'll see in a minute. But the other really scary thing is because of these sails, that massive luff pocket, even though it's got a small window in it, your visibility is heavily reduced. So you can't really see, what is below you, let alone 4 or 5 below you.
So the port tack are crossing in front, so the ones at the far end. So it's still port tack bias. I think that's the Norwegian, which is Oppendal, looking like she had a good start. You can see there, the girls that went off on port tack on that far side are looking in a very, very solid position. And it means they can stay on that port tack pretty much all the way to that wind bend. And then you get that wind bend out, you go all the way to the left, and then hopefully you get that lift off the left-hand side, and then you are like, okay, that was my perfect upwind leg. It doesn't always happen. They don't always get that left-hand shift. It does happen frequently, but not 100%. And that is why it's not a definite strategy, let's say. But looking good. So Hella Oppendal from Norway there. We've got Sarah Winnicus from Holland there. We saw her doing her first PWA events and looking really good. She won, I think, over in, she won in Croatia.
That's your domain, Ben.
Croatia.
Yeah.
Croatia, yeah. So she's looking very, very solid and always smiling. I got to be honest, she is the most smiley person I've ever met in my life, which I love to see. Although when you're on port tack and someone's on starboard tack, and maybe that smile might just creep away. Who knows? But looking good. So if you are just joining us, this is race number 10. There we go. It says at the top of the screen.
Top left of the screen.
I'm trying to use my brain, which is never a good idea. But race number 10 for the women. One of those races will have been the slalom. So you will have 4 first places. You'll be able to check the results to see what happened in that slalom heat earlier, but the rest have been course racing. If you're wondering why only one slalom, they do slalom when it's lower winds. So around 10, 12 knots, they'll be doing slalom. When it starts to get a bit windier, it's a course racing, but I heard the slalom was quite windy this morning.
So technically, under 10 knots, we're supposed to do slalom. Or light wind racing, which is usually downwind in some way, and then above 10 knots we're supposed to do course racing. If you've done lots of course races and you're in the 10 to 15 knot range, then if you haven't done enough slalom races, then we catch up and do slalom races in that range. But it is quite flexible. So as you saw this morning, they started races. It was quite windy doing slalom. They probably had 15. So they did one race and then they switched to course racing again as it went above 15.
And it's an interesting format because it's not like the PWA, like a ladder all the way to the final. It's basically, let's say in the women, it's 4 rounds of 20 riders, or 18 or 17, whatever it is, and so you'll have 4 first places, but it's seeded on the overall results, but the overall results is course racing here, so you never know, you might get a loaded slalom heat with a lot of slalom girls in it. It's an interesting format and really exciting.
I mean, at the end of the day, that had to be done for efficiency. You know, the problem we have here is we have so many competitors, which is a positive problem. So we're with the leader of the race.
It's got to be Helena Neusman.
It's got to be
Neusman.
Yeah, I see 57. So that was a very close cross.
That's what the girls. That will be one of the Brits, Saskia Sills or Isla Watson, I would think. Both of the Brits have been going well, but Helena Neusman has just been dominating this course racing. Like I say, we saw it last year in the Europeans and we're seeing it once again. I would say in her current form, she's pretty much unstoppable on this type of course racing over an event. But as we know, the finals will be a one-off final of 4 riders. And she will be in that final, looking at the way she's racing at the moment, but it's not a foregone conclusion she will win it. It's going to come down to that one race, which will be super exciting. But I do like that format this year. If you are first or second, you guarantee a top 4.
That's right.
Last year, you just guaranteed a top 12, and you could get knocked out in the first round if something went wrong, which was a bit scary, I think.
So at the moment, Helene is 21 points clear of Isla Watson. So she's on 9 points at the moment, and Isla is on 30. So quite a big gap.
But this is a full fleet race. A couple of bad ones. Oh, hello, who's stacked in front? Someone. That was one of the Brits. I think that's Isla Watson in that helmet, if I remember rightly. But it's Helena Neusman going round in first place from France. Look at the fleet, how much distance she's got. I think it's Isla Watson in second place. Then we've got Israel in third. And then we've got another Brit. I would guess Saskia Sills, the way she's been racing this week, I would put her up there.
So I have a top mark update. So Isla Watson in second. Third is Israel 351. Do we know who that is?
351, I'll have a check.
Followed by GBR 248 and Sarah Venikes in 5th place.
Okay, so Venikes is up there. We've also got Brazil, got a few Union Jacks in the mix there. Really good to see the Brits. We've got Croatian in there. Poland 7, which is Danowska. Maybe Imogen Sills in the mix as well. Good to see. Like I said, I will apologise for my lack of sail number knowledge at the moment, but you can imagine with a fleet like this, it's going to take maybe a few events to get it down. But look at that, it's just so good to see this first mark round in.
So it was actually Alice Reed.
Alice Reed going really good.
She was second in that top mark. So.
She's been going well in the PWA, saw her in Israel, had some good races. Getting her first maybe event, a race win over in the PWA. So good to see Alice Reed up there fighting it out with the top girls.
So we're on Helene now. Yep.
It looks good, doesn't it? If this doesn't want to make you race, like I grew up with upwind, downwind racing on a Mistral Imco, but this just looks exciting. If I was a young kid getting into sailing, I'd be definitely doing the iQFOiL. I mean, there's a couple of exciting boats in the Olympic stuff, but just the fact that you can stick this on the roof of your car.
Yep. So we've got Helen on our screens here. You can't quite see because we're following her on the drone, but as we look to our left in the commentary booth, she is 300 metres clear ahead of the next group of girls. It's very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely flying. She has got, she's definitely got added board speed over the rest of the field, and obviously good tactics. It doesn't matter if you're the fastest and you go the wrong way, it's not going to help. So, she's fast, she's pointing well, and she's getting her tactics right. that's for sure. And once you're in the lead, it's going to be scary for her when she's not in the lead. She's going to be thinking, what do I do? But it's not easy leading a race. There's a massive skill in leading a race, going the right way, covering the fleet, not doing something stupid. And there she goes, Helena Neusman. All eyes will be on second and third place now, because we know Helena Neusman is leading. Who is in second? Who is in third? That's what we want to see. And this is her. You can see, look at the fleet. Look how much distance she's got.
Alice Reed, still
Alice
in second.
Reed's in second, great.
And then there's Shahar, what was your pronunciation on that before? Reshef was in third.
248, Britain. Croatia 991, Brazil 16. We've got Sarah Winovidikas, a couple of numbers I know. GBR 400, I think that's Gibson, is it?
That's right.
And we've got La Madrid, Dunovska.
That was Imogen
There we
Sills,
go.
I
This
think,
is
just after.
Neusman. Just looks so controlled, doesn't she? Hanging right over that. The more that board is ranked over, I guess the higher you can point, can push it upwind. I need to do my homework on a few sail numbers. Because say one day I'll get there. So 248.
248, that's Alice Reed.
Okay, so,
Yeah, so
the
she
other
was
one,
fourth, and I
529
think she was
is
second at the
Isla
bottom.
Watson. Okay, yeah. Oh, really good. Israeli's got a super strong, well, fleet basically in the women's. Really right up there. Always there, fighting it out. Very strong Olympic sailors. Okay, really good. It's almost stadium racing here. It's a very big stadium, I won't lie to you, with high sides. But
So I think we're with Isla Watson. Does that look like Isla to you?
she's got the helmet, yeah, like a kind of like a green or a blue helmet. That's what the riders need to get, some distinctive things. Bright helmet. Yeah, a couple of people asking about the manufacturers for the iQFOiL. It's always been the plan of the Olympic Committee to have it open, to have different manufacturers producing the board, but it obviously has to be exactly the same, and they just need to get signed off by the, I guess, the committee, the Olympic Committee or whatever, to make sure they can make it. We've started to see the first boards come out, but these weren't made in a different factory. They were made, they're called white label, I think, boards.
Yeah, white board, that's right.
White boards coming out of the starboard factory, exactly the same, just different graphics. So we've seen Future Fly, Arnon Dakine, obviously a very keen foil racer, putting one out there, and obviously Finja Maynard, FMX. We've seen Maciek Rakowski racing on it, I think Delphine Cousin-Kestel, obviously Amado on the Future Fly, and we're going to see more of that, I'm sure, in the future now that's started off. Are we going to see different sails? In theory, yes. I don't know in practice how long before that happens. Are we going to see different colours? It's kind of exciting. I'd like to see, you know, different sponsors getting involved, and it opens up the sort of route for that.
Yeah, eventually we will get there. So it'll start with white label products. So they're all produced in the same place with a slightly different paint job, and then eventually, once the manufacturing can be certified to be equal across manufacturers, once the right people are convinced that is possible, then we'll push those out.
Interesting, definitely interesting. In theory, you can't do anything to the equipment. There's no sanding down. There is a few tolerances maybe, but you've got to be within the tolerances. So there's some loose rules. It's obviously early days. Everything is getting ironed out, I guess. You know, like in any new discipline. But yeah, Helena Neusman though, looking pretty good.
And many other freestylers are really doing
I mean, she must be just so rapid. I wonder where she'd come in the men's fleet. I mean, you just think she is rapid.
I mean, we were looking at top speeds the other day in the very light wind, and her top speed was just over 29 knots, and Nico Goya was 32 knots.
Yeah.
So, you know, not that far away. So Helen has rounded the top mark first by quite some margin.
Yeah.
She's going around the reach mark now, and the others are not yet at the top mark.
There we go. Just Brit just gone round the windward mark. Could be Alice Reed. Could be, I know, it's Isla Watson. Isla Watson round in second place. Third place, it's the Israeli.
Reshef?
That's right.
Reshift from Israel. So, yeah, 529 Isla Watson. Then we've got Reshift from Israel. Then we've got Alice Reed from the UK. Then we've got our Croatian. She is doing really good this week. Cargo, I think it is, from Croatia. Really good to see the Croatians getting represented. We've got Brazil in there as well, actually. Not that great in the overalls at the moment, but right up there in this race is Prada.
Yeah.
I bet she's got a nice ball bag. A couple of the Brits coming through. Sarah Vinicus there. We've got Donoska from Poland. We've got Oppendahl from Norway. And we've got the French, La Madrid from Spain, fighting it out. Really close racing, but up at the front of the fleet, it's Helena Neusman, looking unstoppable right now.
Okay.
Obviously, we don't know what wind we're going to get on the last day of racing. Will it make a difference? They're trying with this new Olympic discipline to make it exciting going into the last race. It's all based around the Olympics. And people will go, yeah, but is that fair? You've raced all week. Think of the 100 metres. If Usain Bolt doesn't get a good start, he probably is, well, he might win, but let's say someone else doesn't get a good start, they might not win. You know, it's the same in windsurfing. But the good way with this format we've got now, if you are first or second in the rankings at the end of the week, you will guarantee yourself a chance at that top 4 and really, you know, high chance of a medal. So let me know what you think of that new format. I'm a big fan, actually. And you've got to think of the Olympics as a showcase for the sport. It's when the most eyes, unless you have Olympic coverage. Here we go, Helena Neusman going round the bottom mark for another comfortable win in this women's fleet. Going to put another 0.7. Do you have 0.7 or is it 1 point in the Olympics? I think it's 1 point. Yeah, it's 1. You just keep it simple. 1 point for a win, but put in another single digit.
So she's going to come through the finish before the others, or as the others reach the bottom mark gate.
Isla Watson looking good at that bottom end. She's almost pumping her way down. She's had to tack a bit early, jibe early, and Helena Neusman crosses the line. It's Watson that goes down the bottom mark in second place, followed by Reshift, I think, from Israel. Then we've got Alice Reed, and that looks like it's going to be, oh, there we go. Who's that caught up? Is that Saskia Sills? She's had a real good last downwind leg, getting ahead of the Croatian.
Well, that
Cargo,
whole group, because we hadn't seen Saskia,
Prada,
she was behind that whole
Oppendahl,
group.
Sarah Vinicus, yeah, she's made a really good.
And then Spain 132.
Oh, it's close coming into the line. It might be the Israeli. Oh, I think Watson might have just missed out to Reshift. I think in the end it was the Israeli that got the win. We'll have to wait and see for the overall results. Reed going through now, really good result from her, followed by, I think it's Saskia Sills. Oh, and then a close one with Prada and Cargo. Sarah Vinicus and Oppendahl going through now, and then another fight with the Spanish riders between La Madrid and it's Spain 132.
Yeah, that's Nicole Vanderbilt. She's one of those sailors that has transferred. So she went to the Rio Olympics in the NACRA, the catamaran, and she was campaigning for the Tokyo Olympics in the 49er FX, and then has now switched to the IQFOiL. So
she's on it. He on it. Gibson just going over. We've got Erdl going through. Donoska, and then we've got a massive big pack all together. Wow, super close racing. Prada, do you think there's any relation?
Yeah, well, not to the clothing brand, but to the famous sailor Bruno Prada. She's actually his daughter.
Okay.
So, famous star sailor.
What race are we going into next? That's the question.
Well, I think
gold.
We're looking at
men's gold.
Women's silver fleet. Didn't we do women's?
I don't think there is a women's silver.
Oh, you're right.
It's just one fleet.
You're right. You're right. Well, Ben's got the info this time.
I'm there, mate. I'm learning.
You're there. You're good.
I'm a slow learner.
I was just testing you, actually.
Yeah.
Listeners at home, I know what I'm talking about.
What we got here? Does the weight out? There's a couple of questions coming in. I might have to put these over to Antonio. This is a 10 race or 11 including the slalom. I think it's 10th race. We heard there was 9 course races going into this. Maybe well, that's what we got told. This was the 10th race.
That was the 11th race, I think.
Well, yeah. Well, we got told some duff information then.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We apologise for that, but
Because I see we have results for 10, so we've only done one slalom, so it is technically the 10th course race.
Okay, so that's the 10th course race plus the slalom. So we are right.
Yeah.
Yeah, not on purpose, but right. Can you sand down the wings, masts? What can you do?
I can answer that question.
Okay.
Sorry to hog the microphone.
No, good.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
so for maintenance purposes, you are allowed to sand, but you're not allowed to sand so much that you drastically change the shape of the foil. So technically, you can sand up, so long as you're not sanding away that paint finish, which covers the foils.
Okay, I have heard the French team have a foil finisher here.
I've not seen it. You mean a person?
What does that mean?
A tool? Could be a tool. Could be a person.
I don't know, but I heard that.
Sure.
I heard that rumour, but I don't even know what it means.
That
so
dangerous to spread rumours,
foil
Ben?
finisher.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Can you
I
do
don't
that?
know. Well, so long as it's maintenance, you can do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's allowed. So, but will we see more of that? Because if you've never done foil racing before, and I haven't, but I've been speaking to a few of the guys, the foil, well, it's the only thing in the water.
Yeah.
So obviously it has a massive, if your foil isn't set up right, you ain't going to be doing nothing. Which you can tell at this race. Let's say, look at the Brits. The Brits have come here fully prepared, been training in Lanzarote all winter, or all pre-season, let's say. They've obviously got their foils working down to a T. They've got enough people to work with it. You've got to get that set. We don't know how many have got it set, how many are fast because they've got the foil set, how many are genuinely fast, who are maybe going really fast but their foil isn't set right. All these things will be ironed out over the time, and I think it's going to be a super interesting discipline to follow. I don't know how it's going to affect the racing and stuff, but we are definitely going to see some new names up there. We're going to see people moving around, and it's going to be pretty exciting, I can tell you that.
Agree.
What is the idea? Like, what is fast? What do we know? Any rumours? Do you want to point high? Are you trying to just get maximum lift and hold it down, like muscle it? Because let's say Andy Brown, he's about my size, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Like 80 kilos,
He'd be
let's
around
say.
80 kilos. I think like you said, we're still trying to figure that out. Generally, VMG is the thing you're most aiming for, so sometimes going lower and faster isn't necessarily better, but I think either or really, you have to do one of the two.
Or different sized people can do different things. You see Luke Van Op Zeeland and Andy Brown, we're going to take them two because they're the two most different people, and then you've got Nicholas Goya who's probably in the middle.
That's right. Yeah.
And they're all up there,
Yeah.
all fighting, and that's what we want to see. You know, we don't want to see there's a specific body type, body shape. RSX was tall and skinny, basically,
Tall and skinny.
wasn't it?
Tall and skinny, 75 kilos.
Ben Proffitt had no chance.
Wow. Ben Proffitt might have had conditions. But
So it looks like we're going to go into another women's round, and it looks like we've got a clock on the screen. Which
they
is
listened.
lovely. Hey, hopefully it's right.
Hopefully it's right.
So we should just keep your eye on it, but it's good to give you a bit of an idea of what we're dealing with here.
Haven't they done that well? They did that on the fly after you mentioned it.
Ansonsten, wenn ihr hier
So coming up to a minute here.
finnische Umlauf seht ihr, dass es die Dakine-Box gibt. Da kann man
Okay, so we're coming up to
Code einzugeben und dann
There you
sehen,
go.
ob das aufgeht.
another women's race.
Man kann versuchen zu sehen, ob man
Basher says a foil finisher sounds like a repairman dedicated to sort out nicks and scratches. I'm not sure that's what it sounds like to me, but I think that's what it is.
No, he actually is right. That is what it is.
Oh, it's definitely.
In other Olympic disciplines, the NACRA 17, for example, people have a specialist who is there just to finish the foils.
Yeah.
It's very important.
And that is legal. It's got to be, as long as it's within the tolerances. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. So
It's probably loose at the moment.
At the moment, it is quite loose. I suspect we'll see it become more strict as time progresses. But yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, like I said, it's really new for me. I'm an amateur when it comes to this sort of technical stuff, but I'm learning slowly. I'm a very slow learner, but I'll get there in the end. I haven't even been on the iQFOiL yet. I want to make a video about going on for the first time. Maybe I should just do a race from the Windward Mark when everyone comes around. Just scare myself silly.
Okay, so our timer was correct in terms of the seconds, but it looks like maybe that was 2 minutes.
Okay.
So
please show results. This is the thing we're having a slight delay with. Due to there's no GPS tracking, the results have to be checked, triple checked, and it does take, for us in the live, a bit too long to get the results, so I apologise for that. We are calling them over the line. Those are accurate, real-time results, so if you are following, you will see. There are results on the website, they're just not fully up to date with the amount of races we've done. So if you're following today, you will understand, but if not, we're a little bit behind.
well, they're only one behind on the online results for women, so that's not too bad.
So repeat one more time. Silver Fleet, please make your way out.
There we go, a little toot. That sounded like a 1 minute
That was
toot.
yeah, 1 minute.
That was like, that was a... So 1 minute till the start. This just scares me every time they get ready for this start. I am scared. But when you look at the list of sale numbers here, you would say that a lot of the top seeds are at the port end.
Yeah.
Just having a quick scan there.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair, isn't it?
No offence to anyone we see.
No, no, not at all. But I think it's definitely safer on starboard.
Yeah, although there's Saskia Sells right there. 956.
Okay, maybe it's a bit of a mixed
and
bag
Nicole
then.
Vanderbilt also. She's
But we got I've got, like I said, I am learning cargo from Croatia. We have to learn her name. She's
okay.
been going
They're
really
all
well.
new for me too, so you know.
Got Portugal in there. Portugal 16. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was close from Hong Kong. Good start.
Very close.
Didn't hear any toots, any extra toots.
I think there's a 1 second delay between the live and the video, so
Okay. Yeah, so that was a very good start. And are they going to cross the guys, or I should say the girls, on port tack? Looks like. Oh, it's pretty even, isn't it? Pretty even. It just means the girls on port are not going to have to put a tack in. So there is an advantage going off on port. But it looks like the girls on starboard tack had a pretty good go of it. And this sort of crossing, you can't tell how dangerous this is. This is scary stuff.
I think I just caught Helen crossing over to the right hand side on port.
Doing a Luke Van Op Zeeland start.
Get out.
Look at that. I mean, it's amazing to see, really, isn't it? You got
It looks like
70 girls.
that's right, 70 girls. Is that Helen coming towards us right now? I think it is.
Yeah, it looks that way. She's got the speed, hasn't she? I mean, she has been doing a Luke Van Op Zeeland, which seems to be, if you're fast, go early, on port, bang that corner.
Are we really going to name a strategy after Luke? Is that what's happening?
Well, we should, maybe Luke's been looking at Neusman.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe Luke's going, well, she's going all right. I might just copy what Neusman's doing. Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
Neusman, look at that. Can we see anything in the style?
Well,
She's really raked over, isn't she?
Yeah, really raked over, well sheeted on. Looks like good angle and good speed.
Yeah, and she's climbing. It looks like this is when they're coming into the shore. It looks like you can see already getting lifted as they go into that shoreline.
Going into attack.
That's a pretty solid tack as well, isn't it?
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
So
already.
The reason she's tacked is because if she went any further, she'd be crashing into the road that runs alongside the lake.
You could see it though, as she got close to that shore, there's definitely a bend.
Absolutely.
She's climbing as she comes into the shore, and then she's back out and on it. You can see Sarah Windvidicus just below her.
I mean, look how far in front she is. I think that's her the top right of the screen. Miles ahead.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Okay,
Looks like they're getting headed as they're going across the lake now.
Yeah, so that does, if you come out of the lift on that right hand side, you do start to knock.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
and sometimes it's just unlucky. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. But if she might hook into that left hander if it's there on this occasion.
We might see a couple of the girls coming out of that left hand side because we have got more clouds than we used to seeing at the moment. So we might see a bit more shifts going on. Interesting to see, but Neusman already looking solid.
So you see there's a dark patch here on the water. Typically when there's more pressure on that side, it is a lift coming out of that forest.
Such beautiful scenery here. I mean, I'm not one to get all beautiful and but it is absolutely Amazing.
Back in your day, Ben, did you use transits on the start line?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they used in the tree as a
I
transit?
don't know. I used to use moving objects, I think. I once picked a white thing and then I realised it was a sheep. It wasn't very good, I can tell you. Now I have heard a lot of people starting on port because they can get a good transit, because there's a lot more things on this side like flags and things that look different. On the other side, just a lot of trees.
Yeah.
So very hard. You see quite a lot of line sag here from the starboard tack girls because they can't actually get a good transit.
So with Helen again here, she's just tacked on the left-hand side, heading back across the course to get to the top mark.
Good view of cargo there.
And we've had Saskia Sills just cross in front of cargo, also heading out to the right-hand side. Now you can actually get, where Helen is up there on the top left of your screen, you can get caught out there because if you go too far left, too high on the course, you can actually overlay the top mark.
Okay.
It's hard to tell exactly from here where she is, but something to be cautious of.
Interesting stuff. You can see the mark there. If that's the windward mark,
That is the windward mark.
who's that going over there? Someone's just, I don't know if they've gone the wrong way, but it looked like they were going really for the corner. We just need to get rid of that kite surfer because that drone, we don't want to lose another drone. And as we know, kites and drones don't mix very well
So
together. They're
someone
not good friends.
looks like they've closed the gap there. Can you see that flag?
Yeah, that looks.
Who is that?
Well, that's a Brit. That's Watson in second place. I can see the helmet, but it's Neusman. But there should be someone on this side of the course. I'm looking to see who it is.
I think that was actually Helen who was furthest left.
I think this is Helen, but I could be wrong. But yeah, this is Helen. So this is Neusman round in first place. It looks like, I guess from here, I would say Watson looking at the helmet. So Neusman round in first place. Let's hope we can get that other shot up. Let's see, there we go, yeah. So it is, yeah, Watson in second, Neusman in first, third place. Maybe the Dutch.
Well, I don't have top mark updates this time.
Okay, so Neusman, Watson. Is it Vinicus? I think it is. Yeah, Vinicus in third. And then we've got, is that Saskia Sills? Difficult to see from that angle. Then we've got the Russian.
Let's see, Gibson.
Gibson. Oh, Gibson's had a good couple of races now. And Duznovska.
Lena Erdl.
Lena Erdl. So they're all wrapping around now. You can see
Sarah Keita there.
Sarah Keita in the mix with that green helmet.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. See, the helmet makes a big difference.
Also, the flag is very, very different to all the other flags.
Yeah.
So
This hectic stuff around this top mark. You can just see, you know, one mistake, 50 metres back, let's say, and you can just see how many people you'd be in between. Just so John Siddle knows out there, just asking, did you find the drone yesterday? They found the drone. Problem was, it was in the water. I don't know how they found it. It's so deep, this lake, but luckily it was near enough on the side and they managed to fish it out. So, Neusman, what are they going to do to stop her?
well,
I mean, they got 3 years to catch up, but she is looking so good at the moment.
yeah. So if she keeps going, she's going to guarantee herself a top 4 finish.
Yeah,
She can do this again tomorrow. I mean, she is so far clear.
it was the same last year.
Yeah.
I mean, a year on, and she is looking so dominant. I think we've got to give a shout out to Watson as well. I mean,
Yeah.
she was right up there in second last year in
That's
the
right.
Europeans,
That's right.
and obviously been putting the work in.
I mean, Isla, before that last race, Isla and Saskia were actually tied on points, both on 30 points, and Reshef from Israel 1 point back again.
Okay, so really close for that. I mean, second place, it is big.
Yeah.
Second place, you have to fight for second going into the final. The top 2 will guarantee themselves a top 4, which would be a hell of a lot stressful than being third and have to fight out in the semi-finals with 5 others.
Absolutely.
So it is big between Saskia Sills, Isla Watson, Reshef. When do we end? When do we fight? We've got another day tomorrow of qualifying.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea.
And finishing second compared to third after the
Here we go.
qualifying.
This is the bottom mark. Watson. Well, they're all mixed in together.
Yeah, Watson and then Saskia Sills.
Yeah, and then we've got Vinicus, Danovska. Oh, she had a good run on the
And then
downwind.
Alicia Gibson.
Gibson
And then
looking good again. Oh, we got Cousin
Cousin
Castell. coming through. Whoa, then we got Lena Ernal coming up from the low down. Really close stuff. And then we've got Cargo coming round. Norway 126. And then we've got Sarah Kita Offringa from Aruba. We love those different flags.
Yeah, we do. So as we were saying before, the difference between finishing qualifying in second versus third is quite big.
Yeah.
Because second, you're guaranteed top 4. But if you qualify third, you go into that semi-final, and like you said, you're fighting it out against 5 other girls. Only 2 progress to the final. So
exactly. So it is a big fight. You know, these girls will be fighting out. They want that second place. That is the stress reliever.
Actually, if you look on your screens now, you can really see the course is clear. You can really see the wind bending around the coast there.
Yeah, that was a lovely shot.
Yeah,
actually.
Beautiful shot.
You get to see where that real big wind bend is, basically. I guess, do you nail into that actual corner?
Yeah,
that little point?
I think if you want to try and, as best as possible, hit that point that you saw from the shot earlier, it's quite hard to do though. Sometimes, you know, can't be so deliberate about it, depending on where you started, where you tacked. But aiming for the point usually works.
We've got Imogen Sills in third place. There we go. That's Ollie Woodcup. He's better with the GBR numbers.
Ollie, one of the coaches. Thanks, Ollie.
I'll definitely say someone sort out the British numbers. They're so random. Need some like GBR 1s and GBR 2s.
Don't worry, Ben. We've got some sale number changes coming, so we will.
I have heard the sale numbers next year will be off the world rankings.
That's right.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Which will be pretty interesting, and it'll give you a good idea if someone's having a good race, someone's come from the year before.
Absolutely. So we're told we are looking at the top 2 right now. So
529. That's Watson.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in the distance, far, far away, you have Helen.
She is killing it.
She is
absolutely killing it. So just brushing up on my sale numbers. See, I can remember 400 Gibson.
Yeah, you remember all the British sailors.
No, I don't. It's the random ones in between.
Okay. So
248 is Alice Reed.
As Ben mentioned before, next year we should be moving to a system similar to the 49er class, where your sail number is a big round disc based on your finishing position at the World Championships. So immediately, and if you finish the world's first, then you'll get number 1. So Hélène, in theory, if she continues this way, will be France 1, which should make identification, well, a lot easier, at least for us.
Yeah, definitely. Well, easy to remember for me, because 57 is John Skye.
Okay.
So I just remember the John Skye of the women's fleet.
I don't know who John Skye is.
John Skye. There we go, 57. So Neusman looking really good. So just for you guys at home, we heard Imogen Sills up there. 561 is her sail number. We can all learn together. Like going to school, I tell you. Okay, so she's looking very solid. It doesn't seem to be any changes at the front of the fleet as we come into this windward mark for the last time. Race number 11. We've obviously done a slalom as well as that, so the women's fleet have been busy, I can say that. Elena Neusman looking very comfortable at the front of the fleet.
Have a look at the black row. You can test your balance.
Where is the next rider? That's what we're looking at.
Motivated, eh?
So Neusman goes round.
Severe representative, so on
First
what
place.
equipment are you going out now there?
Oh, a little wobble. A little wobble.
Really big gap.
Nice. She extended, didn't she? She has extended up this last upwind. And then it's pretty close.
Is she going to make that top mark? Is she going to underlay?
Yeah, she's good
Yeah,
there.
she's good.
Watson from Scotland.
Yep,
Team GB in second place.
also quite a big gap to the third place.
Looking very consistent, Isla Watson. Who's in third? That's the question. Okay, so we're going to stick with this drone shot for the moment.
Sarah Venekes is third place, running the top mark now.
So the Dutchie, Smiler.
Followed by?
Yeah, we got 529. Is that Imogen Sills? Did I just?
No, you've got that was second place, but Poland 7, Maya.
Okay. Yeah, Dunovska. Yeah, sorry, I was just having a quick check.
And then followed by an Israeli sailor. We have a. Is that Neve Robinson?
Yeah, it's Maya Morris, Israel 7. But she's not in the mix at the moment. Israel 8. But look at that, look at the leader. She is absolutely dominating. I mean, from this camera angle, it looks like the sun's gone down. It looks pretty mean and moody, but look at her, absolutely flying. And you can just see the chasing pack behind her as Helena Neusman makes her way down to another victory. She'd need a disaster now if she was to lose this one. It's been a bit of like a mix around actually in this race. A few other riders stepping up their game. Oh, I say a nearly disaster there for Neusman. Has a wobble.
The commentator's curse.
I nearly said she'd have to have a disaster. That nearly was a disaster. She's probably looking at that kite surfer, wondering where to go.
The Severn, the new Severn equipment that is just came here to Silverplana, so brand new.
We've got Win saying she could almost crash and still win. When he catches up on the stream, he's going to be up. But here she goes round the bottom mark in first place. Helena Neusman destroying the field right now. Look at her, she's already claiming it. You can only do that when you have a lead like this. She must be just so full of confidence. You see in the background, Isla Watson jibing, looking very solid in second place. Vinicus just behind her. But this race and this competition so far is all about this woman about to cross the finish line. Helena Neusman, another first place to add to her string of first places. And she has pretty much guaranteed a place in that final, barring an absolute disaster now. Next up, it's going to be Isla Watson from Scotland. Lockinch Massive. Going to be crossing in second place, and she's looking pretty comfortable in that second place. Looks like Sarah Vinicus in third. Then we've got Donowska from Poland. Yep, Watson just going over the line now, so second place for her. Then Vinicus in third, Donowska fourth. Fifth place,
Imogen Sills.
Imogen Sills, 561. My memory's terrible.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
Closely followed by Alicia Gibson.
So the Brits up there again. We've got Russia, then we've got Aruba, yes, Serakita Offringer. We've got Cargo from Croatia. We've got Lena Erdl in there, Cousin Kestel in the mix.
iQFOiL, the foil style, I believe has just
yeah, so all the girls coming over now.
finished.
Mexico just going
We
through.
will have the presentation 6 o'clock from Severn. We are tomorrow morning. We will have the towing, the big towing final.
Okay, just trying to work out if we're going to do the next one, or that is it. That is it, I think. We've just been told by the powers that be. That is it. Obviously, men's goal fleet is next, but we'll have to bring you those results
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
yes, tomorrow. So we're just gonna. Okay. Well.
Just so you can hear.
Okay, so there we go. So have you been following? What have we got? Let's have a look at a few comments coming through. It looked like France 57 was first. Yes. Helena Neusman is first. So there we go. Helena Neusman gets another win in the men's fleet.
Women's fleet.
No, I'm just saying in the men's fleet. Who was it? Luke van Op Zeeland. Was it winner or was it Nicholas Goya? I couldn't remember at one point. It's Nicholas Goya that won it in the end.
One. Yeah, they had the battle on the finish.
So it's been an exciting day of racing. Apologies for the internet. Hopefully we'll be back to full power tomorrow. Every day we'll be streaming for an hour from 3 till 4. That's the window we've got. We've got more of the same tomorrow. The wind forecast, the sun, everything is exactly the same, and we have got some big fights on our hands. It's all about top 12s, it's all about top 2s and top 4s. They all mean different things. It's exciting stuff, as you saw today. So join us tomorrow for more action here in Lake Silverplana for the Vanora England Wind by Dakine, iQFOiL World Championships. Thanks to Antonio Costolino for joining us, and thanks to you guys for watching. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, team.